Have you tried eating healthy, working out consistently, having a low-calorie diet, even tracking your calories? But remember, what you do, you can't get rid of those last 10 to 30 pounds of stubborn belly fat. If that sounds like you, I'm gonna tell you to fix it in 3 simple steps today, so stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Rich here from Fit Fusion Brotherhood. And like I said, in today's video, we're really gonna dive into and solve how to lose those 10 to 30 pounds of that stubborn belly fat and keep it off for life. And these 3 things I'm gonna talk to you about today, I find it really doesn't get discussed enough in the fitness and health field. And if you plug and play these systems, I guarantee you're finally gonna lose those last 10 to 30 pounds of that annoying fat that kind of hangs around over the belly. It's a simple plug and play system. And I got 5 bonus tips for you at the end as well that you can simply do. So we have 3 main reasons. I'm gonna start from reason number 3, work our way to the most important reason number 1, and then hang around to the end, because like I said, I have 5 bonus tips that you can plug and play into your lifestyle day 1. You do this, I guarantee you'll get rid of those last 10 to 30 pounds of that stubborn fat. So let's jump into it. Reason number 3, you're focused on losing weight, but you're not focused on losing fat. So what do I mean by that? Now, weight loss and fat loss, they definitely have a lot of overlap and similarities, but at the same time, they're very different. And I think a lot of times we just focus on how many calories we eat and how many calories we burn. And don't be wrong, that's a great start for fat loss, but there's way more to it. Now, weight loss, it could be a lot of different factors. Yes, you can be losing fat, you can be losing muscle, which is what we don't want to do. You can be losing a lot of water weight, glycogen. In other words, when you lower your carbohydrate intake, the number of the scale is going to go down. So there's a lot of factors that influence weight loss. When it comes to fat loss, how I really define it is, especially in a fat loss phase, is we want to lose as much fat as possible, but we want to retain as much muscle as possible. And I'm going to tell you how to do that at the end of the video with the 5 bonus tactical tips. So stay tuned for that. But really shift your mindset from weight loss to fat loss, because it's very different. And if you lose your muscle in a quote unquote fat loss phase or weight loss phase, however you want to call it, you're simply just going to set yourself up for a weight regain down the road. And maybe you watch this video saying, yeah, I've lost weight in the past, but I've gained it back. Now, think of it this way with weight loss versus fat loss. I think this is a great analogy for you. Weight loss, let's say you're cleaning your house, or maybe you're moving, wherever it might be, and you clean everything up. So you clear everything up, you get rid of everything. So it could be your garbage, your broken items, okay, that's a good thing, but you're also getting rid of your essentials. So maybe like your TV, your couch, your stove, you're getting rid of those essentials so the house is smaller and maybe it's more comfortable to live in, but you're getting rid of those things that you need. It's kind of like losing muscle, if that makes sense, is what I'm trying to say here. So yeah, you get rid of a lot of weight and fat, but you're also getting rid of muscle. It's the same thing when it comes to cleaning the house. Now, losing fat, think of it this way, you're selectively cleaning your house. So you're getting rid of the garbage, you're getting rid of the broken items, but you still have your essentials that you need and you live in, and you're not sacrificing your strength and endurance because you're focusing on selective items and not just cleaning out the whole thing. Does that kind of make sense? So weight loss, yes, you're gonna lose weight, fat, etc., but you also are probably going to lose muscle. And fat loss is it's selectively you're keeping onto your muscle, but you're losing your fat. And this is what we want in the fat loss phase. And I'm going to tell you to do it at the very end of the video, the best way. That way you can keep your muscle and lose that stubborn belly fat. That's reason number 3. Shift your mindset from losing weight to losing fat. Number 2, you're eating healthy, but you're not eating right. So what do I mean by that? Now, in the past, I have talked about this before, but it's something I really want to drill home, because eating healthy, before I really define it, I want to ask you, what does eating healthy mean to you? Like, how do you define that? Is it like eating a lot of like fruits, vegetables, nuts, stuff like that? Is it more like having chicken and broccoli for a meal? Is it more having like detoxes? Is it more like cutting out sugar and carbs? So what is eating healthy to you? And I'll kind of get in my theory. So for me, eating healthy is super subjective, and that's not what we want, because it could be a bunch of different things. It could be you're eating a lot of like nuts and avocados that have high calories and quote unquote they're healthy foods, but you're overeating on those healthy foods, and next thing you know, you're just having too many calories and you can't lose that belly fat. Or it could be the exact opposite. Maybe you're actually having just like a ton of vegetables and like, you know, maybe you're detox, whatever it might be, but you're just not having enough calories. So eating healthy, we gotta define a little bit more. And I really want to shift your mindset from, okay, I'm eating healthy foods, to I'm eating the right way and the right sort of foods. How I define eating right is, which we're gonna dive into more later in the video, is dial in your calories, dial in your protein, and I want you not to think of foods as good or unhealthy. I want you to think of it as either expensive or non-expensive. So what do I mean by that? Pizza, a lot of calories, right? A lot of calories, and then nachos, foods like that. I would deem that as an expensive food when it comes to how many calories you have in there. Obviously, like vegetables, your broccoli, maybe even chicken breast, I would deem that non-expensive. But if you kind of play this and you factor it into a calorie budget, it's gonna make a ton of sense. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have $1,000 to spend during the week. So let's say you have $1,000 to spend, you're going shopping and you can spend it on essentials, but you can't go over $1,000 or go over your budget. How you choose that money depends on you. So maybe you might want to have like an expensive purchase one day, but the next day you go a little bit lower to compensate to make sure you don't go over that budget. It's the same thing when it comes to eating right. It's not that foods are good or bad. It's just they're a little bit more expensive than others because you might have pizza one day, which is quote unquote an expensive food, but you might have to lower the calories a little bit the other day and have more chicken and broccoli to compensate. But if you factor that into our eating right formula, I guarantee you're gonna lose that starving belly fat, and it's a lot more quantifiable opposed to just like I'm eating healthy, but you're just kind of guessing at how many calories you have, and there's really no set structure in play. So again, we're gonna go more depth in later in this video in terms of how to set that up. But again, just shift your mindset from eating healthy to eating right, and I'll plug and play the systems at the end of this video right for you. But one thing you probably aren't doing if you're trying to lose those last 10 to 30 pounds of starving belly fat is you're probably dating, but you're not married. And no, don't worry, I'm not talking about relationship advice because I'm not married, so I'd be pretty hypocrite giving you relationship advice there. What I mean by that is you're probably dipping your toe in the water when it comes to a few different things. like maybe you've tried cardio for a little bit to lose fat, maybe you've tried like high intensity interval training, maybe you've tried like CrossFit, maybe you've tried strength training, maybe for nutrition, maybe you've done keto, maybe you've done like carnivore, intermittent fasting, whatever it might be. You're just kind of going like system to system, but you don't have that one system in place that you can sustain for the rest of your life. And that's why I kind of give the analogy of like, you're dating, a bunch of girls in obviously the relationship world, but in the fitness world, be like dating different workouts, different nutrition plans, but you don't have that one set structure that you can stick to. And this is what we really preach in our program, Fit Fusion Brotherhood. And this is what I'm gonna give you right now on our bonus tips, like the 5 tactical things that you absolutely need if you wanna lose 10 to 30 pounds of fat. So just make sure when you are doing something, you gotta commit to something that you can sustain for the rest of your life. And if you just kind of like mix and match and you're dating different girls with the analogy, you're not gonna be happy if your goal is marriage. And marriage in this case for you, of course, is I'm assuming you want to lose 10 to 30 pounds and keep it off for the rest of your life. So we need a set, predictable system for you that you can sustain without any guesswork. All right, you ready for the 5 bonus tips now I got for you? I got 5 simple tactical tips that you can plug and play very easily. Number 1, I talked about this before, but I'm going to talk a little more tactical now. You got to dial in your calories. And the best way to do this, I say, in terms of like how to count calories, and you don't have to count calories, I'll get back to this one second here, but calories is body weight in pounds and times between 9 to 12. So let's say you weigh 200 pounds, times by, let's say 10, 200 times 10, roughly you want to have about 2,000 calories a day. And now why there's a range between 9 and 12 is if you're super sedentary, let's say you have a desk job, you walk 4,000 or 5,000 steps a day, then maybe you want to times it by 9 because our calories out is lower. But if you're like Michael Phelps and you're moving nonstop like 15, 20,000 steps a day, then you probably need times it by 11 or 12. But for most of us, I would say getting your body weight times 10 is a good rule of thumb. And that's the very first thing you're going to need. So body weight in pounds times roughly 10, that's the very first setup you need. Number 2, it's going to be your protein. So your protein, super simple formula for you to plug and play is take your body weight in pounds and times by 0.8. So if you weigh 200 pounds, times by 0.8, you want about 160 grams of protein per day. If that seems like a shitload, you're like, Rich, what are you talking about? Just work your way up to it. Like let's say you're about 100 right now, maybe get 110 the next week, 120 the week after, and just kind of bump up from there. Before we get to the next one, in terms of calories, if you don't want to count calories, by the way, we do teach a system, Eat Like a King, in our Brotherhood program where it's kind of like a 0 guesswork thing. So if you want us to do a video on that one day, just let me know in the comments below. If we get enough love or enough likes in the video, I'll definitely do a video explaining how you can lose fat without counting calories and without feeling hungry. Going back now to the tactical tips. So number 2, again, your protein, if you're 200 pounds, 160 grams a day, so body weight times 0.8. The third thing you need are to down your workouts, and this is what we really preach and recommend, is 4 strength workouts per week. So we recommend an upper one day, lower another day. Let's say Wednesday off, upper one day, lower one day. 2 times each per week. You don't have to worry about cardio. You don't have to kill yourself in the gym, spending hours. 4 45-minute strength workouts per week is all you need, especially if you're strapped on time. And if you might be thinking like, oh, I love cardio, I want to do it. You can definitely add in cardio for sure. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want you to make sure the pillar of your exercise is strength training, because exercise only makes up 5 to 10% of how many calories you burn in a day. So I don't want you to focus on burning calories. I want you to focus on protecting your muscle in the gym. Remember, reason number one, fat loss, not weight loss, completely different. The fourth thing you need, ready for the super most boring thing ever? Sleep. I'm not gonna tell you a set number on how many hours of sleep. I'm not married, I don't have kids, so I'm not gonna say, hey, you gotta sleep 8 hours a day. But what I want you to focus on at least is as much sleep as you possibly can, because if you sleep well, it's gonna set up the foundation for your day. And there's actually been a lot of research that shows people who sleep less on average tend to overeat because we have more hunger cravings. So try to prioritize your sleep. I'm not gonna lecture you on that because I'll stay in my lane here. And the fifth one is gonna be drink a lot of water. Again, super boring, but it is something you absolutely need. Drink as much water as you comfortably can. I don't want to give you like a set amount because it varies for every single person, but those will be the 5 things you need in order to lose 10 to 30 pounds of stubborn fat opposed to this weight loss. Because remember, your goal, you're trying to lose fat here, but you're also trying to retain muscle. And I'm assuming once you're done losing the fat, you're gonna wanna add some muscle. And if you just focus on losing weight, but you sacrifice, lose a lot of muscle with it, then you're almost like a melted candle when you're done. And it's gonna make gaining muscle a lot harder down the road. So hope you enjoyed this video. I will drop a free document in terms of workouts. If you want to get a sample week in terms of how we really structure our phase 1 stomach shred, I'll link it below, grab it for free, and you're gonna see how we structure workouts. You're gonna see like 45 minutes, 4 workouts a week is all you really need. If there's anything else I can do for you in any other videos, just let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to make a video for you to really help solve whatever you're going through and make sure you kind of lose those 10 to 30 pounds of fat, gain muscle, blow up your strength, and doing this injury-free. That's it for now. Again, Rich here at the Fusion Brotherhood. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk soon.